Hello, hello. Happy Friday, everyone. I am Nicole Flowers, career strategist and resume writer. And this is If I Don't Tell You, Who Will? And I am joined by LinkedIn friend turned IRL friend, June Colarosa, who is Build with June, another career strategist. She has been a recruiter all over the place, Meta, Google, years. How many years? I won't say the years because ladies don't tell, but you can share it if you want to. Tell us more about you, June. What have you been up to?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, thanks so much, Nicole, for having me. I'm so excited to be here, part of your live discussion, and hello to your community. I'm June Colorverso. I am the founder of Build with June Career Coaching and Consulting. I am an ex tech recruiter. I have 10 plus years of experience working in big tech, startups, agencies. Your girl has been around. What that makes me a unique career coach and strategist because I've been on both sides of the table as far as hiring candidates for these top tech companies, as well as coaching over 500 professionals. The bulk of my time I'm spending career coaching. I am also working with personal branding clients, also content creation. I'm doing a lot of things.
Career, and this is what we love to see in
Yeah,
2026.
exactly.
We want to hear from you, your recruiter mind, and just a piece of empathy for everybody. You also know what it's like to be laid off from big tech and be in that position of, do I want to go back? Do I not? I'm going to do my own things. As we think about that, we have our usual questions that I ask every week. And our biggest thing today is positioning and what we should be doing,
Mhm.
what we're not doing, what we think is great about what we're doing, but we shouldn't be focused on. And so, first question, what do you think most candidates think matters, but it doesn't matter at all?
Yes. So what I've been seeing a lot is people overanalyze and they get stuck in this analysis paralysis when it comes to their resume. Sometimes people spend too much time on the language, on the formatting, on the colors. As long as you spend more time focusing on the ROI, your outcomes, your quantifiable metrics, using your resume as a marketing document to really share your career highlights. That way, hiring managers and recruiters could envision you in the roles that they want to hire for. You don't need to put all of your accomplishments there. I don't see your resume as long as my CVS receipt. Okay. Without the coupons. You don't know that. No, you need it be short, concise, straight to the point. You also want to make it easier for recruiters to find what they're looking for. So don't overly obsess on your resume. Yes, I know because we are in a very competitive market, you're going to tailor your resume to the different roles you're going to be applying to. Yes, that's fine. But all you need is one foundational resume, and then you can start from there. And then what you can do is start tweaking your headline, your summary section, and your skill section to the specific roles you're applying to.
Exactly. People aren't spending all this time. So that's why clean format, like all the columns and this and that and the colors and it's creative, it's artistic. There's just not time. We want to know really quickly why you for this role. Show me the receipts, but don't give me a CVS length worth receipt. What do you think a lot of candidates don't think matters, but actually does?
So traditional route is you update your resume, you optimize your resume, you apply to the roles. But in this era of technology and social media and LinkedIn and professional and personal branding, your digital footprint weighs heavy in your candidacy too. I see now because of all these mass layoffs happening, job seeking professionals are updating their LinkedIn profile. But I feel like there's still a gap there where people are spending so much time on their resume and making sure it's the right formats, making sure it's tailored to the right roles that they're applying to, but they don't spend enough time on their LinkedIn branding and positioning themselves as subject matter experts in their respective fields by creating content on LinkedIn. I'll tell you this. I want you to start thinking like you're a recruiter. For me, when I was recruiting for Meta, for Google, for all these great companies, I diversified my talent strategy and sourcing strategy by
Mhm.
reviewing resumes, by going on LinkedIn, looking for candidates. You, as a job seeker, you need to diversify your approach by not only having a really great resume, but you need to put yourself out there on LinkedIn as well. recruiters and hiring managers and professionals, they're looking at LinkedIn for top candidates. Also, there's dedicated teams for these great tech companies that are solely their main focus is to source candidates on social media, primarily LinkedIn. So if you're not positioning yourself on LinkedIn with strategic keywords and skills and strengths and all of the accomplishments that companies are looking for candidates, they're not going to find you.
I read a stat once that 87% of recruiters start with LinkedIn. To your point about having these teams that go straight there, you know it. You're the expert here on it. 87% of recruiters start with LinkedIn before they post the role. So they're out looking for you before you even
Yeah.
post. So, and I also say to
Mhm.
clients, if you haven't
Right.
touched your LinkedIn in a long time, if you're not engaging, LinkedIn doesn't know you're awake. I don't use the word alive, but LinkedIn doesn't know. And so it's gonna be like, we're gonna show other candidates in the search results. We're not gonna show you because we don't know that you're gonna engage or you're gonna respond or that you'll be an actual applicable applicant. So tell me a little bit more when you talk about LinkedIn positioning and optimizing that space. Is it just the commenting? Is it making sure you have a full profile? What would you look for? What would you look for?
Yes. My favorite question. You want to treat your link profile as your digital business card. The most important real estate, and you could probably speak to this too, Nicole, the most important real estate on your LinkedIn profile is your headline and your about section. That's why I say too, when it comes to your resume, is above the fold, your top half of your
Yes,
resume,
the
right?
top 25% deaths.
Exactly. Same concept goes with your LinkedIn because from a LinkedIn recruiter perspective, when recruiters are looking and sourcing for candidates on LinkedIn Recruiter, it's a different user interface. When they're sourcing for candidates, say like software engineer with 8+ years of experience with Python, C++, XYZ, they're putting those keywords in their search filters. When they go ahead and do that, it's going to show the results. And the first thing that the results will show is the candidate's headline. That is your hook. That's what's going
Mhm.
to draw
So
me
why
as a
you
recruiter.
for me?
Exactly. I'm going to click your profile, and that's where I'm going to scan. Recruiters do not read your profile. They are scanning, just like they're
Mhm.
scanning your resume. They're scanning for the buzzwords, keywords. What they're also looking for is quantifiable metrics, ROI, impact. How did you save the company money? How did you increase revenue? You can just start something today to help increase your visibility on your LinkedIn. Start
Mhm.
with your headline and your about section.
I love it. And I agree 100%. And I wanna also reference something you said way in the beginning, which is people are spending way too much time on their resume and not the same amount of time on their LinkedIn, which is an amazing thing in 2026. But I like to call all of these things your application materials. It used to be the resume got us, we passed this and this, but LinkedIn is part of your application materials, your cover letter, your networking strategy, like all those different things. And LinkedIn, I call it your digital storefront. When you go to a store, you want stuff on the shelves. You want it when you go to a store and it's really full with all your favorite snacks and items, you're like, "I'm gonna shop here." Same thing with your LinkedIn. And everything should be optimized. Everything should be complete because you, June, might look for one thing and you're skimming for such and such, but another recruiter or another hiring manager, someone on a hiring team will be looking for something else. So it's let's make sure that all those pieces are optimized for whoever is looking. Let's make sure that you have skills associated with every one of your job experiences so that if I am skimming, which to your point, we all are, no one's clicking more for the most part, right? Are you clicking
Mhm.
more?
There's the 3 lines that you read, or 3 or 4 sentences on your about
Yes.
summary. If I see what I'm looking for, I'm going to click more because I want to learn more about the candidate. So you want to use also the first couple of sentences in your about section as your elevator pitch.
Love it. Yes. And that's good. From a recruiter herself, make it engaging, and then that makes them want to read more, just like any story, anything you're like, "I wanna get to know more about June. I'm gonna click in more." That will cause me to then learn more about you, get a little connected to you, send that DM that says, "I have this role, blah, blah, blah."
Exactly.
What's a tip or 2 for getting past the cringe? Making the first post. Do you know what I mean? Everyone, "Is this person thinking about me? Oh gosh, what if they think I'm looking for a new job? Or what if they think I'm a dork because 'cause I'm saying this?" What is a tip that you
Let me circle back to 2020. What happened in 2020? Depends. I never leveraged LinkedIn the way I leverage it now. In all of my recruiting experience, the majority of my recruiting experience, actually at least half of my experience, I only leveraged LinkedIn to promote the companies that I was working for. Never really leveraged LinkedIn to promote myself. Then what happened to me? I was laid off. And then I was working for a great startup. And then when my job was eliminated, I thought to myself, who am I without this company? Who am
It's a
I?
big feeling.
Does my career stop because I'm not working for the Meta, for the Googles? No, it doesn't. And then I started leveraging LinkedIn to share my expertise as a recruiter to help because there were so many people losing their jobs. I started not posting, I started commenting. So that's
Yeah.
my biggest tip to get over the cringe. If you have a goal that you want to start building your professional and career brand on LinkedIn or on any social media platform, you have to start with just commenting in other creators' posts and professionals' posts because that's just going to build your reps in as far as
Mhm.
getting comfortable of sharing your thoughts, sharing your ideas, sharing tips. You are building your thought leadership muscle. Start following people that you want to work for or you want to work with. Start commenting on their posts. And then once you feel comfortable, I would say maybe 1 week, 2 weeks, then you can create one of your own posts. If you don't want to share a post directly, reshare an article and share your takeaways. You don't have to go ahead and full on make a video and say, hey, I'm June, I'm on the job market, like we did yesterday.
Oh
You
my
have
gosh,
to,
like that's in the middle of the street.
that was fine. We have to do it again. You have to take baby steps. So to get over the cringe, just take little baby steps. When you're commenting, that is also content creation there.
Absolutely. And you can now see the impressions of your comments and how
Yes.
many followers you get from your comments. So once more for the people in the back, the more you do it, the easier it will become. You're building reps. I talk about that like with strength training. At first, you're like, I'm never going to get to the 20-pound being my midweight. But after a couple weeks of doing fives, eights, tens, you're like, wow, this is just getting easier. It's becoming more natural. I'm going to try a new thing. And that's how I have felt with it is that it's like, I'm going to put it out there. Something will stick, something won't. And we think that people are paying attention to us, and they are
They're
not
not. They're
because we're
not.
too busy paying attention to ourselves. You know what I mean?
Oh, I want one call out.
Yes.
Talking about commenting.
Yes.
I want to circle back to your headline
Yes.
because when you're commenting on other people's posts, for example, I've been seeing a lot of hiring managers posting jobs saying, I'm hiring for
Mhm.
this. Interested, comment below. When you're commenting your resume, when you're commenting your experience, what is the first thing they see, Nicole, when you comment?
Those first 2 or 3
See
words right under your name,
in your headline.
in your headline
Exactly. Yep.
in your
That's
headline.
why if there's one thing that you can update this weekend, it's your headline because that's what's going to draw people to come visit your profile. That's what's going to draw recruiters to slide into your DMs. Yeah.
So get creative after those first couple few words. Those first few words, let people know who you are, what you do, what you bring, so they again, they know exactly. People are skimming. People somebody else is gonna get somebody else's attention in 10 seconds, right? Why you immediately? Okay, then they get to your page, they look right at your headline, they can learn more about you. Okay, I'm interested. Then they go to the about. They read those
Yep.
first 3 sentences Jen was saying. Click more or skim down, see what else where you've worked, how you've done it. And you've already hit the question that I ask at the end of every one of these things, which is if someone had 30 days to seriously improve their chances, what would you tell them to focus on? Okay, do you have a bonus? Okay, that headline they can work on this weekend, but if they had a month, would it be the commenting? Would it be practicing commenting?
That's a good question. I think the most important piece of your profile is going to be your LinkedIn headline, your about section, and then extracting information from your resume as far as your accomplishments. And hey,
Yes.
remember we talked about that long CVS receipt we talked about with your resume?
It'll never not. I love it. Yes.
You could put all of your proud accomplishments on your LinkedIn.
LinkedIn loves all the sections being filled out.
So
Citations, publications,
yeah,
if you have volunteer work, courses,
yeah.
courses.
The more keywords, the more sections you have featured and optimized, it increases your invisibility as well as your recommendations. So for the next 30 days, I would recommend just rethinking and just working on your positioning on LinkedIn from your profile to
Mhm.
also thinking about what types of content can I post on LinkedIn that's going to help position me for opportunities.
I'm gonna give one more.
You're
One
good.
more thing that you told me. This like, I hate commenting. What do I say? Who do I comment on? This is a June special. Find a handful of people that you want to engage with their content, make a list of them, and then go every day or go a couple times a week and comment on their posts. You can put it in Notion, you can put it in Google, you can put it in your notes app, but you be proactive. You can curate your feed and curate who you're talking to.
Just be intentional because you don't want to be scrolling on LinkedIn trying to find people to comment on. If you are not comfortable to start posting yet, just start commenting at least 5 times a day for the next 30 days to build that flex. And then you could challenge yourself for the next month. Just take little baby steps. It is scary to put yourself out there.
It is, but trust us when we tell you it gets easier with time like anything else. Just like anything else, June says, put in the reps and it will become easier lifting. And then see how many people you meet. I say this all the time too. You never know where your next opportunity is going to come from. So be open like a lotus flower, be out there, see what comes, and that will encourage you to keep going as well.
And I encourage you, once you get that job that you want, don't stop there. But especially in this economy,
Keep going.
you need to build your career insurance, building your career professional brand. So it shouldn't stop when you start that next job of yours. If anything, you should start continuing to evolve your digital footprint. That way, hey, if something happens down the road where you get laid off again, you're not starting from scratch.
Exactly. Wonderful. I think we can end there. Thank you so much for joining. And thank you everyone else who joined. Remember, connect with June or I, and we will look forward to seeing you next week. Bye, everyone.